Hi, my name is Roman. I'm the Director of Sales at Mastel Hospitality.
Hello, I'm Marta. I'm CEO of Cysuite.
And we're here today to announce a new partnership between Cysuite and Mastel Hospitality. We are going to bring cybersecurity to the hospitality market.
In Las Vegas, they say the house always wins. That luck seemed to run out after the Strip's biggest casinos were hacked.
Cyber attack is still impacting two big hospital networks in our state.
A ransomware group is taking credit for a massive cyber breach.
We begin tonight with a significant cyber attack taking place across the nation and around the world.
The FBI is now investigating after one of the world's largest hotel chains reported a massive data breach.
Working with hotels since 2006, we've identified that even when hotels have top-of-the-range software solutions that are extremely secure, sometimes their processes are not in the right place to really keep that data secure. For the last few months, we've been working on this partnership. Tell us a little bit about your team and who we're going to be working with on this.
We have people that come from industry, from cybersecurity. We have people that come from consulting. So we have also the consulting background and attitude. Yeah. And we have also people that are PhDs and have strong ties with academia and research. This is very important when it comes to working with technology and cybersecurity, to have that awareness and that connection with the scientific community and network. And that's something we believe in.
And then combining this with the Mastel Hospitality service side, we've been working with hotels since 2006 on consultancy, implementations, rollouts, and all that kind of good things for hotels. So I think the information and the knowledge is there to provide a really top tier service in that market. Definitely. But many times people are not aware. I said they have good systems, but maybe their processes don't align with those. So tell us a little bit about what kind of services we're going to offer and how they are going to align with the problems that we find in hotels.
Yeah. So I will start by talking about data protection, because maybe it's a topic that people are more familiarized with, especially in the recent years. There have been a lot of regulations that have come into force, and data protection is crucial,
like
right?
GDPR, for example.
Exactly, like regulations like GDPR and others. Data protection is basic in the protection of any corporation for compliance reasons and then for protecting the data of the clients, right?
Of course.
What we found out is that data protection is not enough anymore to protect businesses. You need a stronger strategy that not only takes data protection into consideration, but many other variables. Hotels in the recent years have become a #1 target for cyber criminals worldwide. And this is because of the nature of the data that hotels collect, right? Yeah. This comes from personal details like banking or credit cards information to even health information. Right? So it is not about data protection only anymore. It is about survival of the business. Yeah. And I prefer to talk about maybe sustainability of the business in the mid and long run. So what we bring to the table is the data protection bit, of course, to protect this data, and then aligning the business strategy and the cybersecurity strategy, both of them sitting in the same table and allowing operations in the day-to-day, right? Yeah. So that would be another one of our services. Hotels may have the best softwares out there, the best technology, but if your teams and employees are not trained well or trained enough, the whole ecosystem may fail eventually, right? So that's why we want to introduce also a cybersecurity awareness type of service that trains employees, trains even the guests that are going to be staying with you in your hotel. And so we protect, in that sense, the technology you're putting in place.
I want to go a little bit back to what you said regarding the data protection and the survivability. The impact of a breach or of a hack or of some kind of cyber attack can be very, very difficult for a hotel chain. You have some information on what kind of happened in the past, like what were the impacts of that?
So we looked at the market, and probably you've heard about the big chains being attacked, and maybe you were planning an important business trip or you were going on holidays with your family and you were one of those victims of these cyber attacks that couldn't book the trip, or their data was stolen, or something happened, right? So if you have lived it firsthand, you probably know to some extent what was the impact for you personally of those attacks. The truth is, though, the financial losses for these firms, and I'm not talking now only about the large hospitality chains, also small and medium hotels have been affected by cyber attacks. There's estimates out there that between 2021 and 2022, the average cost of a data breach in the hospitality industry was somewhere around $3 million. This has an impact in any business, but you can only imagine how much this may impact a smaller hotel chain that may be very profitable, but this may create a big loss for them in a year or in their activity moving forward.
This comes together with a misconception that I see a lot as well in the industry, is that hackers is just like some teenager at home sitting at his computer and trying to hack into a network or something. There's big groups of people really that take specific targets, right? So we want to target this hotel group, we want to target this hotel, or maybe they come across a vulnerability just by scanning the network and finding a vulnerability and just going, okay, we can hack those guys, you know?
Yeah, cybersecurity seems to be not as tangible as other types of security, right? So people don't see it, and people think, okay, this is something that stays in the cyberspace, in the internet, so I don't see it. Technology grows at a much faster pace than regulations, for instance, or than awareness. So there's a misconception there, not only in the hacking cyber criminal industry, in other parts of cybersecurity as well, that we are concerned about, and this includes social media and phishing attacks and different types of frauds and scams that we see that are affecting the population and not only companies anymore, right? We want to have like a counterpart for that by offering penetration testing services so that we are able to test the infrastructure functioning and the systems health and the networks, and how hospitality industry or hotels in this case are prepared to endure any cybersecurity attacks they may suffer.
We jump into the role of the hacker and we try and test where the vulnerabilities are.
Exactly.
And then we can help hotels
with a white hat in this
Yes.
case, meaning that we're the good guys.
And with the approval of the
we want to have an end-to-end type of service offering for our clients. So we were tapping on to more business-related services. Now we enter into more of a technical type of services with penetration testing. We also have vulnerability assessment, where we want to address and identify those vulnerabilities ahead, so we can create those mitigation or potential scenarios to mitigate in the future, where we establish the threat landscape. And this means that we list a number of threats that the hotel may encounter along the way, and we prepare every case scenario for the reaction to that, right? And it links very well with another one of our services, which is incident response. Imagine that.
I was just going to ask about that.
Yeah, exactly. So imagine that we were not able to list all the potential threats, or we did our best and still cyber criminals got to our systems, into our hotel, because it's very important how you react to that and whether you have systems and procedures in place to mitigate the impact in your organization. And that's part of the incident response service we have, to make sure that we are agile and fast when we react to them. And this includes communication strategies, both internally and externally, meaning you have to communicate with your organization when it's under attack, and then you also have to communicate with your clients and authorities, so you make sure that the reputation of the hotel is also safe moving forward.
And continuity, of course, as well. So we see many of those attacks where they hold hostage the data of the client. So they inject the virus that encrypts the database, and they cannot use the database. And if they don't pay the ransom, then they destroy the data.
That's one of the examples.
So there is continuity as well.
Yes. This leads me to another one of our services, which is compliance. We have governance, risk, and compliance service. We don't want to forget about the regulation. And we've seen in other industries like financial services, where regulators are very strict, that regulation is there for a reason, right? Many clients need to comply with regulation just to tick the box and to be okay with everyone so they don't get fined. But regulation is there for a reason, to prevent cyber attacks from happening, to protect the rights of the guests, in this case, or clients. So we want to go hand in hand with regulation. This all falls into that cybersecurity strategy we were talking about. And definitely, we will be providing that service also to hotels.
Talking about strategy, something else comes to mind. So when we're dealing with rollouts of PMS and POS, obviously there's always version updates for anything that comes out. Latest version, some PMS systems or POS systems, they have updates even monthly, We often come across scenarios where a hotel needs an update, a service rolled out, but they cannot roll it out because security hasn't approved it yet. So they're maybe missing a functionality, maybe there is some cybersecurity issue that they have to cover with a bug or something, but they cannot roll it out because the business strategy is not aligned with the cybersecurity strategy. So what's the idea behind that service?
This links back again to the cybersecurity strategy being aligned with the business strategy. Right. It is true that cybersecurity controls must be there. So there will be mismatch of timings. We cannot ensure that the timings will be exactly the same. There will always be mismatch in some of the cases, but the idea is to mitigate those mismatches and to ensure that, okay, let's put cybersecurity from the beginning by design, in the design of whatever system we're trying to work with or whatever system we're trying to integrate. So from the beginning of the project, of the internal project, we are aware that business has this deadline in mind and that cybersecurity should run all the tests way before. So we ensure we don't run into any delays or
So proactive
problem.
approach,
Exactly.
Any other service that we can offer in this new department?
These are, let's say, the general overview of services. We want to provide a tailor-made approach to our clients because we understand they may come up with situations where they may need our expertise. And so we want to keep the door open to any scenario that the clients, in this case, the hotels, may come up with. We are covering with these 7 services an end-to-end type of service for our clients. But again, we will adapt as much as possible to every client situation.
And I think it's also important to note that with this service, we can support the cybersecurity teams in the hotels. So it's not a matter of maybe there are hotels that don't have cybersecurity teams in place. Maybe they need help because they don't have that. Maybe there are teams that do have cybersecurity, but they're limited by the amount of people they have. So then they would have access to really high profile people who could help them in their effort, right?
Yeah, for sure we can cover for a whole cybersecurity team. Definitely we want to become part of their teams when it comes to covering for a specific need or to bring in knowledge for a specific type of situation they haven't encountered yet to date.
Marta, thank you so much for your time today. It was really nice talking to you. We're super looking forward to launching the service starting from today. So if you have any questions about cybersecurity and hospitality, make sure you send us a message, reach out to us, leave something in the comments, and we'll be happy to get back to you. And keep an eye on this space because we'll be posting a lot more videos. Marta is going to do a lot of awareness on the channel, on our LinkedIn page regarding cybersecurity. And we'll see you then. Thank you very much.
Thank you.